Hey everyone, welcome to Average Joe Preparedness. My name's Rick, and I'm an Average Joe. For those of you that are new here, this channel is for average preppers. And when I say that, I don't actually mean preppers the way they mean it because there's no bunkers in the back. It's more preparedness, but the words seem to be interchangeable. I disagree, but what can I say? So for average people, doing average things to prepare for normal things that can happen, predictable things usually. That being said, there's no like Civil War and World War III and Mad Max and no, don't do it. Okay, there's other channels for that. You can check them out. They're pretty cool. However, if you're prepared for most things at a lower level, you'll be set up for success for those things that may happen at a bigger level. Because I'm not saying those things can't happen. Anything can happen, but it's probability versus possibility. Does that make sense? And that's what I focus on is probability. Let me give you a case in point. If you watch my videos, you'll know I keep saying things are just going to get worse. I don't read the news. That there's some prepper channels and they just go over the news and they say, well, this is an indicator. If you can't see it, I can't help you. This channel is for people that figured it out and they're like, stuff's going wrong and I need to know what a regular person can do. That's what this channel's about. That being said, hey, guess what? They just released some numbers. Instead of inflation being like 8 point something, it was a little over 9. This is my shocked and amazed face. Yeah, not shocked and amazed. Because I buy food. I don't have to read something. I buy food, I pay bills, I put gas in my car. I understand everything's costing more. I don't need a readout, especially since usually they're biased and blah, 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 yickety schmackety. So, if you're like me, if you understand things are getting worse and there's a lot more people and tensions and people are mad and you look about, that's what this channel's for. Let's talk. Okay, so hopefully you don't mind my attire because I'm out working and I took a break and I'm like, you know what, I should go shoot a video. So I'm working in my yard. Well, be like, well, working in your yard, Rick, that doesn't sound like you're into preparedness. Well, actually, yes. So I added a couple things recently. If you watched my last video, I'm talking about the garden beds. So there's a little bit more work involved in that. If you try to maintain them, like I'm out there pruning off the dead stuff and you pull the weeds and you add compost to it and actually work it. And I have one garden bed that actually isn't hit by any of my sprinklers. I put it in a dead space. You guys have seen those before in old videos about where I put the compost, the dry compost bins, well, between another tree. I actually just put a little bed back there. I just dug it up, added a little compost just to see what would happen. I threw down I had some red potatoes that were growing in the pantry, so I threw them in there, and I threw some seeds in for some vine stuff because hopefully it'll be out of the way, and we're going to see what happens. Yes? I also planted a couple of blueberry bushes because they don't have little spikes on them, like blackberries, raspberries. I hate those things. Little spikes coming up out of the ground. If you don't know what I'm talking about, good on you. If you do know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And I have a pine tree in my backyard, and it takes up a corner. I didn't plant it. But I was Googling why pine trees kill everything, and it turns out that the needles, when they drop down, they're highly acidic, and that tends to kill things. Hey, so I Googled what grows well in acidic soil. And the top two things are apple trees and blueberry bushes. So I planted one blueberry bush out there. I planted another one somewhere else. I like to plant things in different areas, microenvironments. We've talked about this to see what grows where, blah, blah, blah. So blueberry bushes. Now, if you're looking longer term, okay, and again, an average person can do this. I have the little gardens, small little gardens. But an average person can plant a garden, and then if you're looking long term, trees and bushes. Yes? Yes. I've mentioned that I'm trying to grow for smaller spaces. Remember, this is for average people. I'm growing potatoes in the buckets. Well, the potatoes in my raised garden bed are still going. The bucket ones have died. And I don't know if you've ever grown potatoes before, but they go, then they die. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to just leave them for like a week, 10 days. And if there are any tubers or potatoes, whatever you want to call them, it gives them a chance to dry out a little bit and harden up their skin so they're not really soft and squishy when you get them out. So we're just going to see what happens, yes? And maybe I'll shoot a video on it. In like a week, 10 days, we'll see what happens. Because last time I grew them in a bucket, failed. So they were rotten and it was getting too much water where it was. Doesn't matter. That's what gardening is about. That's what everything in life is about, by the way, if you haven't figured it out. It's trial and error, trying it, learning. So maybe that video will come and I'll be able to, if it's good, yay, I'll pass on the information I did. If it's bad, then I'll pass on that information too, so you don't do what I did. Yes? Yes. Okay, so if you checked out my last video, I hope some of you, many of you, went and checked out the first other content creator that I plugged, which was Preparedness, for those people who need to learn how to save money. Okay? Because everything's costing more, and unless you get a raise, or unless you get another job, or unless you sell stuff around your house, whatever, another way of doing it besides bringing more money in is having less money go out. Yes? And I don't know about you, but I just got notification from my city. Garbage went up, recycling went up, electricity's going up, water's going up, sewer's going up. All those basic things that you can't live without are going up, and all you can do is reduce. Yes? Again, Prepper Princess, go there, watch her videos. I can't say anything positive or negative about her book. I've never read it because she plugs it, but that's not the point. She has all these nifty little things on how to save money. And hopefully you'll get your mind around it and you'll be like, okay, I need to learn to save money. Things are not going well. Yes? Now, Easter eggs. See, I did a whole bunch of, lots of videos. I've done, I don't know, lots, but there's a whole bunch of videos if you go and look at them. And I put these little Easter eggs in, which is when I give advice and it's really short and it's quick and I don't make a big deal out of it. Not like my former job, they would say something, they'd stomp their foot, which means you should really pay attention. So I wasn't doing that because only certain people should get it. I mean, no offense by that, but seriously, there's a lot of people I'm like, you know what, whether you're prepping or not, it ain't my problem. And, you know, personally, I don't care because things are getting worse and things are getting worse and things are getting worse. And a lot of people are going to probably be part of the problem and not part of the solution. I know that sounds bad. Please don't hate me, but it is what it is. Yes? So, what can you do? What can the average person do? Let me give you something that I do real quick, and initially you're going to be like, well, that's a silly thing, but let's walk the logic out, where things are going. We'll walk the logic out and see if you can see what I'm talking about. Yes? Yes. Okay, I'm not sure if I talked about this before, but almost every day I get up almost first thing in the morning because that's when it's cool, as long as the sun's up and I can see, and have a 5-gallon bucket, and I got one of those old people grabbers. You know what I'm talking about? We grab stuff? Yeah, I have one. It's out back. And I go out front and I walk my yard first, because the wind blows and trash gets there, and I pick up the trash and fallen leaves, you know, the stuff that falls on the ground. And then I go out in the street. My side of the street, but the street, maybe out to the center. And if people are throwing cigarette butts out their windows, or leaves, or garbage gets blown because on trash days, you know what I'm saying? And so I pick it all up in front of my house. And the mow strip, whatever the hell you want to call it, that little place between the sidewalk and the curb, because I live in suburbia, people. And then I go down one neighbor over that way, really nice neighbors over there, and I walk in front of their street, their mow strip. I go all the way down, and then I turn around and I come back and I check the street and I go to my other neighbors. So my house, neighbor's house, neighbor's house. And I pick up the rocks and the garbage, cigarette butts, whatever. I pick up all that trash. Leaves blown. After the 4th of July, sometimes there's little pieces of fireworks and stuff. You get what I'm saying. Yes? Well, Rick, what the hell? Why the hell do you do that? Let me explain. This is where I live, and I take care of it, and I want it to look nice. And I'm not one of those people that says, hey, somebody else needs to do it. Yes? Because it seems like that's where everyone's going. Well, someone else needs to do it. Someone else needs to do it. No. You need to do it. Okay? And plus, I had a misspent youth long time ago, and I hung out with a lot of people who weren't very nice. And I can tell you a mentality. I can tell you how people think predominantly. Not 100%, but predominantly. Things are getting worse. Things are getting worse. People are stealing from people. People are attacking people. People are pulling off the parts of people's exhaust and getting their gas tanks and mugging people and doing all these terrible things. Okay, well, those are terrible people, and terrible people think a certain way. Well, one of the things that they think of is, where am I going to strike? The nicer a neighborhood is, now I'm not talking Beverly Hills, but a nice, clean neighborhood, it's not where they're going to go. Okay, predominantly, that's not where they're going to go. No offense, people that live on a street that looks like poo, but guess what? They're coming after you. Yes? Yes. So, little hint, guys. If you don't want, once things start getting worse, or it's already happening now, if you don't want people messing around on your property, breaking into your car, breaking into your neighbors, ruining your neighborhood, if you don't need that stuff, clean up. Okay? Clean up your front yard. Pull some weeds. Edge it. Go out there and clean up the garbage that's blowing in the streets. You see what I'm saying? Don't wait for someone else, and don't be like, okay, because you're going to suffer the consequences. And again, all this stuff that's going on, if you backtrack it, a large percent of it is because somebody wants somebody else to do something for them. I'm just throwing it out there, guys. If you don't like this, I mean, then you don't come back. I hope you do, because usually that's why people talk to me. It's because I tell them the truth. Yes, yes. Go out there, get it done. You do it. Understood? Yes. Okay, how about something positive? I think I might have mentioned it that I put hoops over my raised garden beds, and I got that, like, well, when winter was here, when it was still cold, I was putting plastic over to try to pre-plant, early in the season to try to get more and more use out of it. However, a deep freeze came and killed that stuff. But with the hoop still there, I have shade cloth, and I'm using it because right now it is friggin' hot. I don't know where you guys are, but yeah, hot and a lot of sun. And it seems to be working. Some of my temperature sensitive stuff like leaf lettuce, I grow a lot of leaf lettuce because you can just go out there almost every day and just put it on a sandwich, make a salad, whatever the heck you want to do with it, wrap, it's all good. But it seemed kind of sensitive to the sun, and it seems to be doing okay. Yes? Oh, and another thing. I wish somebody had told me this. Growing garden beds, especially with compost and stuff, is pill bugs or roly-polies, whatever the heck you call them when you were growing up. I hate those things. They don't tell you that they eat your young little sprouts. Yeah, killing my spinach. I don't like them. Just playing. No, I'm not playing. I don't like them. Okay, and finally, I'm going to touch on it because I almost always do. I hope I always do. Finances. Okay? If you can't see the direction things are going, it's not going to get better. Don't believe anybody. Or you can. It's up to you. So, pay off your bills. Interest rates are going to go up again. Remember I told you the economy numbers came out over 9, which means the Fed was talking about raising, they say like 75 basis points, 0.75%. I don't know why they use those weird words. But anyways, like 0.75% they're getting ready to raise it. They may raise it more now because those numbers are terrible. All right? So that's credit cards, that's variable interest rate loans if you have any of those. So below your means. You need to start living below your means. I already pointed out another content creator. You can Google in how to live below my means or saving money or whatever. But anyways, Prepared Princess, I told you can go there. And it's little things that people are like, oh man, I don't want to do that. Okay, you don't have to. But you're going to be spending more money. And you're going to be coming up short. Yes? And that's not it. So, that's not where you want to be. Finances. That's how you get prepared for things. To be prepared for the way the world is now. Yes? Yes, get your finances in order. Please. Okay, so latest update from here. Garden's doing okay. A lot of stuff made it. A lot of stuff didn't. Maybe I'll do a recap video. Once it starts cooling off, I'm going to start planting again. I'm doing second plantings. And I'm also doing time plantings. Like I plant some lettuce and spinach, and then I wait like a month or two and I plant some more. So that way it's a continually rotating. Yes, we'll see how the carrots do, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, we'll get to that some other videos. But it's actually doing okay. So we'll see how that goes. So we'll finish it there. Yes? I hope this finds you well. I hope you are happy. I hope you are positive. And I hope if you're watching these videos, not just mine, you're being prepared. Yes? Yes.